Okay, let's start. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining today. I hope you will enjoy your first day here at droidcon. In this lightning talk, I will share with you our pragmatic approach to integrating WebViews in native mobile apps and how you can do it too. First of all, let me introduce myself. I'm Patrick. Yes, like Patrick Star. I'm an Android engineer working at BlaBlaCar, and I'm French. So sorry for my French accent. All right. Quick show of hands. Who here is using at least one WebView in a production app today? Looks like you already know the secret. So what we are all doing here today? We are here to talk about how doing it right. So first, say hello to my co-presenter, Bob. Hi, Bob. It looks like he's struggling with something. Every product team faces the same challenge. How do we build and ship faster without compromising quality or user experience? At BlaBlaCar, we decided to tackle this by setting off on a new route. Often seen as a compromise, the WebViews became a surprisingly powerful tool in our arsenal. Every grid road trip needs a map and a reliable vehicle. For WebViews, these are your essential tools before you set off on this route. First, you need a mobile website alternative to your native app. Imagine wanting to take a shortcut, but the road isn't even built. You will probably have an accident. For WebViews to truly shine, you absolutely need an existing and well-maintained website that can already render the feature you want to display. Without this, you are building the web content from start, and that defeats the whole purpose of a fast track. Second point, you need a robust design system. This is like having a universal GPS for your UI. A shared design system across native and web is crucial for UI consistency. Okay? Thank you. I think it's good now. I think it's good now.
Struggling to read your language. This resolution.
You have to change the resolution.
I want to adjust your resolution because it's not liking your white. It's coming in as a non.
Ah, okay.
I can't read. What was that in French? Display. Just get rid of display resolution page. Move it back a bit for now. Confirm. And then
I think it's okay. Thank you. Sorry for this. Let's go back. So the second point, you need a robust design system. It's like having a universal GPS for your UI. A shared design system across your native and web is crucial for UI consistency. Sorry. So, at WebView, we decided to tackle this. Sorry. At WebView, we faced the common developers lament. Building features for free native platforms like Android, iOS, and web is incredibly resource intensive. It felt like we were constantly driving three separate cars to the same destination. It's a bit ironic for a carpooling company, isn't it? So, free front-end implementations is fantastic for core experience, but they were slowing down our time to market. Think of the mobile release train, API breaking changes, App Store reviews, etc. This often meant a significant investment for every new feature, sometimes requiring a dedicated team of at least 3 engineers just to get one thing shipped across all the platforms. So we already had 2 robust native apps, but unfortunately, we didn't have a unified code sharing solution like AMP. So we needed a way to move faster, and the WebViews became our lightweight, fast-tracking alternative, allowing us to ship to everyone at once. This freed up our team to focus their valuable native skill to the most strategic features for the product. Think about the Pareto principle. Let's do a small quiz. The question is simple. WebView was added in which Android API level? Answer A, level 1, the first public Android version. Answer B, Cupcake. Answer C, Eclair. Or answer D, Honeycomb, the first Android version designed for large screens and tablets. So A, B, C, or D. And yes, WebView have been part of the Android story since day one, and we learned a lot since then. At its core, WebView is just a tiny browser living inside your app. So think of it as embedding an in-car navigation system directly into your native app. It's an industry standard that has been available for ages, so it's not a new fancy tech. It requires minimal native code. We are talking about a single line of code just to display a new web page. But we have to be honest, the UX might be not perfect out of the box. And who else is using them? You would be surprised, but many of the apps you use every day, the same that feels perfectly native, use WebViews as part of their experience. So it's a testament on how effectively they can be used. The whole point of this strategy was to simplify and speed things up, to transform our development pipeline from 3 different implementations to one unified core experience. Now, our Android and iOS apps could display the same feature without the extra redundant work. So we are doing less copy pasting and more innovation. And integrating feature WebView is an easy T-shaped task that can be done by any developer or even by an AI. And the best part, we can now deploy live updates to our web features instantly without waiting for the App Store review. So we are getting to the destination faster. But this isn't a one-size-fits-all vehicle. And being pragmatic means knowing when to say no. We learned that not every feature belongs in WebView. the UX can be suboptimal. You might experience loader loading times, less fluid animations compared to fully native experience. You will miss some device capabilities, things like direct camera control, Bluetooth, NFC, etc. can be tricky to access from a WebView, and it will require native bridges. And if a flow is a key conversion point for your business, like booking or payment funnel, it probably belongs in native for maximum performance and reliability. So this is where the real world begins. Okay, I think there is an issue. Okay. We didn't just make a WebView. We built a full bland capability around 5 key pillars. The goal is to make it feel like it's a seamless part of the native app. So let's talk about authentication. How do you log a user into a WebView that lives inside your already logged in app? It's a key handoff that has to be both secure and seamless. First, the mobile app fetches a new token with a tiny scope. The token is forwarded to the WebView, so we pass the keys, not the worker. The forwarded token allows the WebView to authenticate itself, so it can render the feature you want to display. This ensures that the user session is securely transferred and maintained within the WebView. A smooth and secure login is the first step of a good user experience. Now let's talk about navigation. WebView can feel like a disconnected detour. So how do we make the navigation feel integrated and safe, preventing the user from getting lost or stuck? So let's start from a native feature. The navigation to WebView feature should be transparent for the user, but also for the developer. We keep the same navigation framework, so we provide only a path to the target feature, not a complete URL. And from the WebView, we can also display a native feature by leveraging the existing app link or deep link mechanism. You may have noticed that the native top bar is always there. We took the decision to never hide it. This is your exit ramp. If a page breaks or the user wants to leave, they can always tap back to get out. It provides familiarity and control to the user. Let's do another quiz. Which of these screens is using a WebView? A, B, or C? I know it's a tricky one. Any answer? No? So here, the correct answer is A. But I do agree, it's hard to guess. And that's the whole point. We need the web page to look like it belongs there. We don't want to have a page that pops like by accident. So this is where our design system truly shines. Also, you won't see any web menu, header or footer in a native feature. So it should be the same for a WebView feature. We display only the essential content of the feature. Now let's talk about consent and tracking. These pillars are all about building user trust and gaining valuable insights. For consent, we have to reuse the native consent. No one wants to be asked for consent twice, especially not within the same app. This creates a much smoother and more trustworthy experience. And for tracking, we need to keep a uniform tracking idea for consistent analytics. This ensures that we can track a user journey seamlessly across both platforms to have a complete picture of the user behavior. So let's get real. Where did we actually use the WebView to accelerate the delivery at BlaBlaCar? First, we use them for experimentation or urgent needs. When we need to ship a feature really fast or to do some A/B tests, market testing, etc. We use them also for occasionally access features, the things you don't use every day, like user reports, about a section, legal documents, etc. We can use them also as a feature fallback. It's a great safety net. If a critical component, native component fail, we can use WebViews as a temporary alternative. And we use them also for content-heavy pages with minimal user interaction, things like articles, for instance. All these items are part of our WebView decision tree. This is how we decide where to invest our precious native resources. We learned a lot by integrating the WebViews, sometimes by hitting a few potholes. So consider these our warnings shared as your wisdom. First, latency is real. WebView will be generally a bit slower than pure native screen, so manage the user expectation with loaders and optimize your web content aggressively. Don't expect native-like animation or swipe transition, for instance. Adding them will add complexity to your WebView, so be pragmatic when using them. Be mindful about the WebView memory usage, especially if you display a lot of WebViews or complex web content, because poor management can lead to crashes. And don't overlook accessibility. Your web content must be accessible. This is non-negotiable for a good user experience. So, what's the big picture? How can you apply this pragmatic approach to your project? WebViews are a powerful tool, but not a one-size-fits-all vehicle. So use them strategically for the right problem, not for everything. You probably should invest in a strong WebView capability. You have to design and build a solid foundation. It's worth it. Communication is key. Native and web must speak the same language, so you have to define your interfaces clearly. And don't compromise core UX. Save your critical, highly interactive flows for native and focus your resources wisely. By doing all of this, you will accelerate your feature delivery and empower your product teams to iterate faster, making a real impact on your users and business. So that's it. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, don't hesitate. Yes?
Did you consider cross-platform framework instead?
We didn't consider this cross-platform because, as I said, we already had two robust native apps, and it will be more complicated to make the communication between native and multi-platform or cross-platform solution. So we decided to stay with WebView because it's easier to integrate.
Thank you.
Yes?
Have you tried to account for the insets for the edge-to-edge enforcement with WebView, and how do you do that?
Sorry, can you repeat?
Can you account for the edge-to-edge insets? So basically the camera cutout and things like that, now that it's needs to be done with a WebView, or how do you do that?
Yeah, actually, we are a bit struggling with this because integrating HWed is a bit complicated, and that's why we keep as I said, we have some kind of scaffold for the WebView, and we have always the same pattern for the features. So that's why we always have the native toolbar, etc. So for us, this is the way to handle this, because we do not have a lot of different scaffolds. Yes?
Hello. Do you support rotation of the screen? Because usually it's a tricky part with WebView.
We are currently migrating our app to Android 16, and yes, for now we don't support that, but we are currently working on it because we have to support it with the last Android version. So we will do it, but it's a work in progress. Okay, and do you have navigation like native screen, WebView, native screen? Yes, I showed this. We can go back to native features just by using the uplink or deep link. Mm-hmm. There is a method in the WebView that allows us to track the path. So when there is a new path that is triggered, we can actually trigger the native feature by doing this. When you go back to WebView from the native screen, usually it's like loads again, and so it's not. Yeah, exactly. Because as I've shown, when we are displaying a WebView, there is a loading time because we need to fetch a new token, etc. Mm-hmm. So it takes some time, but if you go back from a native feature to a WebView feature, actually we keep the state in the WebView, so there is no more loading. We keep the state. Okay. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you very much.